You know, we're doing this Honor Your Father campaign. I thought it'd be great if we together would talk about our dads and the impact they've had on our life, and at the same time be able to talk about how we could encourage other dads to be what they need to be and the role that a woman plays in that, whether she's a wife or a mother. But Nichole, why don't you tell us about your relationship with your dad, maybe background history a little bit, and share more about what kind of man he was.
My daddy parented out of anger. The boys and I saw a lot of that even in his relationship with Mom. And we really didn't even know how to kind of feel our way through that or how to deal with that. None of us did. And so as we grew older, there was something that happened in my life. I struggled with an eating disorder for a couple of years and went to a hospital for about a week, and working through some things, what is the root of that? And one thing that I had to end up doing at the end of that week was to have a meeting with my dad. I had to tell him that those years of not knowing if Daddy was going to be okay or if he was going to, hit the roof, and how he would, treat me and the boys, and how that just affected me negatively. But then, after I told him that, I was able to forgive him. He has learned from his mistakes. Instead of letting those regrets defeat him, he has made decisions to walk forward. And, the Lord is so good at redeeming and restoring those times that I really don't remember a lot of the negative. I remember the good. I remember that they were there. He is a man who is loyal. He will just stick by your side. Probably, we laugh sometimes, probably to a fault sometimes. That's what he has made up in his mind to do. And all he has known growing up was people to leave or not be there. And so at some point, and maybe I need to ask him one day, Daddy, at what point in your life did you say, I'm not going to do that? I'm going to stick by their side. And he did with Mom, he did with me and the boys. In his employment, they'd have to run him off with a stick if they wanted him to leave. He's a loyal man. And now to see him grandparent our children and his other grandchildren, it's a beautiful picture. He's just intentional. He wants to invest in them spiritually, to help grow them up, to honor me and you, and how we want to teach our family, and they honor us. And so I feel like we're just on the same team, and I could not have picked a better mom and dad to do it with.
For me, my dad, I can always say, at least looking back over my childhood, even up to where I am today, and I'm sure that whether it's Kenny sitting in this chair, who's my twin brother, Wanda, who's my sister, 10 years older than we are, and then Larry, our older brother, I believe all of us would say the same thing about our dad. And he's our number one fan. I don't care who it is or where they are, he's pulling for us, and he's always been there. My dad has showed up in every way possible. I just remember him getting up early in the morning, a lot of times going to work, and just consistently hitting the mark, and whatever that mark was. And my dad was widowed when my mother passed away after 31 years of marriage. And one of the things I think about as a highlight in terms of a memory is where Dad he had to step up in a different way, and one who never really washed clothes, never washed dishes, never cooked. And I remember one time we had this meal of China wok, I guess that's what it was. My dad made this meal of Chinese food. I was sitting there thinking, I've never had Chinese food, I'm not going to enjoy this or not. But he just found ways to step up. I don't care what part of life it was.
And that was after your mom passed away?
Yeah. The Bible says, and even asks a question in Proverbs 20, verse 6, who can find a faithful man? Well, I can take you to Waycross, Georgia. There's a man by the name of Mike Williams who's a faithful man. And I can take you to Hiram, Georgia, and there's another man by the name of Gene Boggs who's faithful. And we can see on our families that the just man walks in his integrity, and his children are blessed after him, and there's absolute truth in that word. we're not saying that these guys are perfect, that these men are perfect in any way, but these men have learned to respond, and over time, God has transformed their lives, and we just want to honor them in the way that we can communicate that. And the memories are there for reasons, and I think part of those memories are there to help us have vision for our grandchildren that we may see one day or we may not see. But honoring your father, I think, is a biblical principle we need to commit to, not just around Father's Day, but also around every day. And whether that's text messages, emails, phone calls, visits, whatever, we got to find a way to honor the men in our lives who's made a difference, no matter where they are.